Group 2, and the topic for today is collaborative learning better for helping me to become a topper or achiever. Now Deepika will explain what is collaborative learning and what is collaborative learning.
I would like to first define the two terms that we are going to talk about today. It is collaborative learning is basically an instruction method where students come together, brainstorm ideas, help each other when they have problems, and then study in a group method. Whereas individual learning comes when students work individually and depend on themselves to help themselves when it comes to their assignments or learning anything new.
Okay, collaborative learning develops higher level thinking levels because it's like everybody in the group brainstorms, puts in ideas, and the thinking level which comes is a collective thing. So everybody's thinking level is experienced and everybody's thinking level is also enhanced, which cannot be done in a one-on-one teacher and student classroom which the teacher is speaking or explaining something and the students are just listening.
But the teachers can exactly explain the students all together. Solve their problems, all of their problems, but when it's an individual teacher can help them solving their problems, each and every question.
Okay, but for that, as you said that a teacher cannot help all the students solve problems. But when you see if a teacher is teaching, and you have group discussions and debates, the best example is this group discussion that we are having right now. Now, collaborative learning, a teacher cannot help it to explain to a student. A teacher can explain to a student separately. But when it comes to a whole class, you are trying to say that it's not possible. But with the help of group discussions and debates, the concept of the topic which is being taught is much more clear because all the students are applying their thinking level and putting forward a point by using their own intellectual level. So, of course, that will improve their own brain.
Roderick, but I would like to point out, if a particular student on a one-on-one thing, as she mentioned, if the teacher is trying to ask questions to the student himself will be having questions. When it comes to collaborative learning, there are so many students with different doubts, different inquiries in their mind, where they have different inquiries in their mind. Most of the time, the ones who are more open come up with questions, and the ones who are not as open do not come up with their doubts forward. But when it's a one-on-one thing, the students do not feel shy, and then when it comes to individual learning, when it comes to their own doubts and inquiries, they themselves are thinking and they are not just sitting and listening to everybody else, because they may be more introvert than the others who are more open when it comes to group learning and collaborative learning methods.
As you said that students can be shy, mind you, but it's not in every society. It's not that people everywhere around are shy and cannot express their point. Also, when many people are discussing and putting their point forward, it will be, see, if there's a diversity of points. Of course, the student which has a point and he does not want to speak as he's shy. Of course, the points that have been discussed, some or the other way, they might be related to the question that the child has, and his doubt can be cleared.
And I would like to add on that a child who has a doubt can consult a person a peer who has more clearer idea of the picture, whereas he would be feeling more shy to go to the teacher instead.
Well,
he spends most of his time with his peers and not the teacher.
But most of the peers make fun of the younger ones, and therefore the child can get more shy.
See, talking about the age group, different age groups have different topics to analyze or to comment on. So, different age groups won't have a person in the higher age group won't have a doubt or a question to a person with a lower age group. So, the age factor does not play a role here.
You just said that the higher age group won't have a doubt to the lower age group, but the lower age group person can have a doubt for the elder ones.
See, the lower age group have something they study and the higher age group has something that the higher people study. So now the lower age group will have people who have different intellect, and they will have a diversity of people who will understand the topic in different ways, so they can amongst themselves try to solve in the problem first, or try to clear up the doubts.
But here, aren't you speaking of a completely idealistic situation? How many times have you seen? Yes, there are students who come and ask their peers if they have certain doubts. But there are also students, because every community, every society, or maybe even be it a classroom, there is a mixture of students, may they be introvert or open. So the ones who are open may not hesitate to ask their peers, but the ones, as I stressed on before, the ones who are shy may not, they may fear being bullied on this topic. They may not, take the thing that the other people are making fun of them very lightly, and they may not come out and ask peers. So then, collaborative learning, coming back to the topic, collaborative learning won't exactly help in such situations. And also students, if they have doubts for themselves and search for answers on their own, can actually help them learn more faster than asking somebody and getting a ready-made answer.
It is likely that the person will ask a person who is really close to, or even he talks to that person like more than the other students. So he wouldn't feel shy asking the doubt to that friend or the student.
Of course, very close friends don't do that. Even if they do, it's just for fun, and later, of course, everything is back to normal.
But they will take it serious, like if you bully them, they will take it serious.
It will happen in all cases. For example, your best friend is bullying you. Will you take it seriously? Of course no, he's your best friend. But if somebody else bullies you, of course you might take it seriously. If your best friend is, why will you take it seriously? Of course, you both will be normal again after some time.
Okay. I would like to say that individual learning is mostly important in learning facts, dull items, like maybe learning the different diseases that is caused by a certain vector. Now, in such cases, how do you expect for a person to collaboratively learn that one topic where that one particular person, everybody's learning capacity is different. When it comes to memorizing things, if you can memorize or if you cannot, even if we take the example of our class, there are a few students who can memorize, few students who cannot memorize. So, in such situations, it depends. If a person tries to take tips from a person who can memorize, it may or may not be effective, because the individual has different capabilities of their own. Therefore, when it comes to individual learning, the child on their own can search for ways and means to learn certain topics and help themselves when it comes to learning facts, learning very rote and dry facts, and especially which is important at a younger level.
So you gave an example of a disease caused by a vector. Okay, when we take it to a collaborative form of discussion, most of the people, or maybe one or two of the people, would have suffered such a situation where they could have been diseased because of the vector or something like that. So it is like every person has an ability to grasp faster when they get live examples, or when they get examples of real life. And the person who has suffered from the disease will of course know what it is, how is it caused, and what are the things which can be done to reduce the effect of the disease or the symptom of the disease. The person can put forth what he has as knowledge with him.
I'm sure there aren't many students in our class who have been affected by cholera. That's why they cannot exactly know how they would be feeling when they are affected by cholera. Yes, it is a chance. But when it comes, again I said, everybody has different abilities. You may be able to learn through examples. She may be able to learn through different methods. And those methods need to be identified and searched for on their own. And that happens only if a child is able to explore themselves as an individual learner.
Okay, so the point that you mentioned before, according to that you're trying to say that a child who is a part of a discussion in a collaborative way only asks doubts to his peers and does not have time for himself. But that's not right. Now you can see that this is a collaborative learning. and you raise the point, and suppose you're trying to say that I did not understand the point. So I will try to take tips from him or her maybe, but then also I may help ways to help improve myself. For example, going home, of course I can find ways. What you're trying to say, that is an individual learning. A person cannot ask other people. That's not right. Of course he can do. He can ask his parents, or he might have peers where he's living. He just have it as.
Okay. So this collaborative learning also motivates students to take responsibility for each other, like peers. They, I don't know if you do stuff like that or not, but if you are in a group, you call people in your group and tell them what you have prepared, ask them what they have prepared, and you take responsibility for yourself as well as your friends. But in an individual thing, do you open up your plans, like what have you done or what the other person has done?
But in group studies, there can be always leads to gossiping between the students, and also can create distractions among themselves while arguing.
But that does not happen every time you see. And even if there's a gossip, it may not be like for more than 5 to 10 minutes. And of course, like people will be back to normal. And what you're trying to say that when there are arguments, what you can do that before the project is started, or maybe before any good discussion, you can appoint any leader whom you can think of being capable of managing the whole group.
If there are no gossips, it won't be like between new people, and some people are shy to talk between new people. So what about them?
What do you mean by new people?
Like they meet new people and collaborative learning is.
Some people will be shy, so that is what collaborative learning can help new people to be more open with the people whom they haven't met. So that is what the main motive of collaborative learning is. If you're shy, and suppose you're doing an individual project, you don't like it doesn't help you to improve. It doesn't help you to improve like your skills. For example, if you're in a project and you're new and I don't know you, of course we both will interact each other and then increase our skills.
Okay, you raised the point, or you actually have raised 2 points. One is you have given group projects as an example for collaborative learning. Well, projects are usually marked in school. They have certain rubrics on the basis of which projects are marked. Now what happens is in collaborative learning, how many times, you may also have been a part of the group, but how many times have you seen that all the group members have equally devoted themselves to the work they are doing? Now, now this doesn't happen because everybody has, as I said, different capabilities, different different mental levels, and on the basis of which they are not able to contribute as much as somebody else could. So in such situations, the people who have devoted more to have also, because of which the people who haven't worked as hard towards the project also get marks equal to those of the people who have worked hard enough. And this may help the ones who are not as good in the project, but may also demoralize and demotivate the people who have really worked hard towards the project.
So as you told that in a group project, all the participants do not have equal inputs. So talking about that, a group project, you have to keep in mind everybody's capability and everybody's level of input, and you have to distribute work on the basis of that. Coming to the point, you said that the people who haven't worked hard get the marks, but the people who have worked hard, they also get marks, but it is pulled down by the people who do not work hard. So this gives an incentive to the people who do not work hard to work harder, so that their peers or their friends do not suffer because of them.
Well, you talked about distributing work according to their capabilities. Now, this is supposed to be done by leaders, and when leaders are assigned to any group, it always acts like a conflict of interest, because there are people who prefer somebody else as leaders, and then there are other half of people who prefer somebody else. There are two different candidates. There are people who actually want to become leaders. There is conflict within them. They are unable to arrive at a situation, and it always leads to arguments and discontent.
There may or may not be leaders assigned in this particular group project or a project that is done by many individuals. The individuals should be given a choice to form a group with the people who they understand better or who they are open with, and those people, they can collectively interact and put forth what they want or what they can at last input.
But in most of the cases, the weaker people are open with only the best friends, and the best friends are also weak. Their best friends are also weak.
See, it's not that a weak person is not capable of doing something. Many weak people come together and do something. They can do things better than the people who you think are better than them.
But at the start, when all the weak people, as you said, are in a group, they think that they cannot do anything, and they all know that they are weak in the class, so they cannot do anything, so they become a bit discouraged.
If they start thinking together and put up their points, it won't be like of course, it will be a motivation to them if you put all the weak students in one group and you tell them that your project will be the best. Of course, they will be motivated and they will try to be the best, and they can be the best. So don't you think that, it's not as if that people who are weak don't have any great ideas. What do you mean by weak is that people don't speak much and they don't tell forward their ideas. But weak people who, according to you, who don't speak much can also have brilliant ideas.
Well, there's this one, everybody comes together in a group. There are different examples, set-aside projects. We have, for example, group studies. As she mentioned, there's lots of distractions. When it comes to group studies, always they occur within friends who like to talk to each other. Isn't it? You all agree, don't you? Okay, so when it comes to group studies, it always friends come together and try to and supposedly the purpose of the group studies is to come together, brainstorm ideas and collectively solve each other's problems, isn't it? But as I would like to reiterate that every time friends come together, it isn't that they always stick to the subject that they are talking about. It always happens that the mind ponders and moves to different topics. Topics seem to be linking.
2 minutes left.
Topics, one topic leads to another, and then one topic leads to another, and then other topic leads to another, and so it goes on. And finally, maybe at the end of 10 minutes, you realize that the main topic of discussion has shifted. It may or may not be gossip. It could be something really interesting, or maybe something that's very knowledgeable and educational. But still, the main topic of discussion shifts from what we were, the real point at which we started. Now, doesn't this waste time? Doesn't this waste time? It doesn't. It wastes time. You are unable to arrive at a proper conclusion, and finally you realize that the work that you actually sat to do hasn't been completed at the end of maybe say 2 hours or 3 hours. So in this situation, collaborative learning has not acted as a support for, it is doing all that you have stated, brainstorming ideas, increasing their level of thinking, increasing their higher order thinking skills, but it isn't helping the person do what they actually sat down to do. In such situations, isn't the individual, when that individual sits and does assignments on their own, isn't it saving time? Isn't it finishing things quicker? Isn't the time that we take to go from one person's place to another being saved? It is unrelated, but also saves fuel, time, money, and all the other resources that are being used for something which is going through time.
It's not always necessary that collaborative learning means going to somebody's place, or maybe sitting in one particular place and doing it. It can be in school also, and in school, even if it's individual learning, of course you have to come to school, right, and that will waste you. Also, as you mentioned, that according to in a 3-hour project, for example, 10 minutes you're discussing something, and if that discussion is upon, as you mentioned, and if that 10 minutes is upon discussion of any knowledgeable thing, and you try to say that it wastes time. How will it waste time when it is increasing your intellectual level? And see, if you're on a topic, and if you divert from the topic, it doesn't always have to be that it's due to some distraction.
Pranav, your time is up.
Let him complete. You want to
To be concluded, sir.
If he wants to complete, let him complete.
It's not always that because of some distraction or some other topic. As you mentioned, it can be a knowledgeable thing also. And if you're discussing something knowledgeable, that can help you to put forward more ideas and then make your brain run more. So isn't that better?
I will like to
Done.
conclude.
Time's up. So I'll, because he was cut.